Fancy meeting you here. I'm Brittany, and this channel documents my life with multiple chronic illnesses, both mental and physical. I love that you stopped by my video, and I would appreciate if at the end of the video you chose to leave a thumb in whichever direction suits your fancy. If up is your preference, I would love if you decided to subscribe to my channel, and then you can see more videos just like this one. Really fast, I want to insert this clip at the beginning of the video. I tried not to use too many of these triggering words, but I do know that sometimes just the implication of it can be very triggering for some people. So if you don't feel comfortable watching a video that implies thoughts of suicide, feel free to skip this one. I will not judge you. I understand you need to look after yourself. If you could use the emergency hotlines, I will look up as many as I can for different countries and list them in the description box. I do know, at least in the US, that there's also a text line you can use if that makes you more comfortable. I will also leave that down below. For this video, I have decided to simply give a little update on where I've been and a huge apology for not being here. This is my third time trying to be consistent with a YouTube channel. So hopefully third time is a charm for me, and I will try my best. Let me explain. For the past several months, I honestly have just had a very hard time existing. There were a lot of days where I could not be trusted to be left alone. It got very close to sending me to a hospital, to, the psych ward. But those are horrible, and I hate going. So I tried my best to not have to go, to be able to take care of myself and avoid the hospital because they suck. And also with a whole new set of symptoms that I have recently been experiencing, I honestly feel like having those symptoms and being in the hospital at the same time would just not be good for me. It just, So my husband and I decided that it would be best for me to stay home and just get through it as best as I could. Within the past few months, there was a period of time where I just had no energy to do anything. All I could muster throughout the day was taking my daughter to school and picking her up. That is all I was able to get myself to do. My body just did not care if the house was messy or if I had errands to run. My body did not care. My brain did not care. So I just stayed in bed a lot. And my house turned into a disaster, and my baby was left unplayed with. It sucked. Like I mentioned, I have been having a whole new set of symptoms that don't really fall in any of my current diagnoses. So I have started a new journey to get this one diagnosed. I'm not looking forward to it. It took me 8 years to get a fibromyalgia diagnosis. 8 years. And then once I finally got that diagnosis, like a couple months ago, the very next month, I started all these new symptoms. I am not looking forward to another 8 years of these before somebody can figure out what's wrong. So that didn't help my mental health. That was the point I was going for. I just kind of rambled a little bit. But the point is, that did not help with this depressive episode. So it just kind of spiraled me down further. It was quite an adventure. I would like to insert a huge thank you to a couple people who actually reached out to me. I started posting some stories on Instagram that were not very uplifting, let's say, and a couple people did actually notice and reach out to me and say that they were here for support. If I ever needed something, that if I needed to talk, they would listen. If I needed a friend, they would be there. Honestly, that meant the most. That was just amazing, and thank you to those people who did that. I have some potentially good news about this whole fiasco. I have started a new psych medication, which honestly just worked out pretty well because I had seen my rheumatologist a little while ago, and she wanted to prescribe me something for the pain, but with my current meds that I was on at the time, it would have caused a reaction with that particular prescription that she wanted to give me. So I had a chat with my psychiatrist and let him know, first of all, these are not working and I feel like garbage, but also, can we change out this particular pill for this other pill so that it doesn't cause a reaction with what my rheumatologist would like to prescribe. So I am currently in that horrible 6-week wait period before the meds kick in. So hopefully they work out, and then I can see my rheumatologist in a little bit and get something for this pain, because I want to die. I have also been trying to find new distractions, let's say, to try and keep my mind off of sad things. So for Christmas, I got a new craft machinery item. It's a Cricut. If you know what a Cricut is, I got one of those. And my husband and I thought it would be a good idea if I tried to start a small business selling products that I make with that on Etsy, which it didn't last long before I went like and could not get out of bed for the day. So I have a few physical items listed on my Etsy, like that you would order and I would ship to you. But after like, I think it was like 6 weeks, maybe a month, 6 weeks, a while, way too long if you're running a small business, where I had no motivation or energy to do any of that. My husband had the idea that I could transition my shop to digital files, so that if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette or whatever, you can purchase my designs and use them to make your own physical products, because it was just too much for me. It was painful. It was too much. So I couldn't do it, but I could make designs in my bed. So that's that. If you're interested at all, I will link that in the description box. I also tried, for another bit of distraction, to start reading again. I used to be a really big reader in high school, and I don't know what happened, but somehow I stopped, and I hadn't read a book in like years for fun. But now I've started to get back into it. I've already read a few whole books. It is an amazing distraction, because then I'm focused on the words, reading. I concentrate on like the characters and their lives and their problems and their good news, as opposed to just wallowing in what's wrong with my life and how hard this is and why I'm so sad. Like, I don't think about myself anymore. I just think about the story and the characters. So that works. I just need to do it more. And finally, now I am trying to get back into the YouTube consistency. So hopefully this can be a good distraction, because, you know, I hear a lot that people say when you're depressed, you don't have, like, you're not feeling your best self, then you need to every day still wake up and get yourself ready. Take a shower, put on makeup if you want, do your hair, get dressed, as if you had something to do, even if you don't, and that should make you feel better. And I honestly have too much pain and not enough energy to do that every single day. But with YouTube, I will have to do that and make myself presentable at least once a week. So yeah, that will give me some accountability that I need to get up and do something with my day. So there's my little update about where I've been. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to come back. It wasn't as long of a break as it was last time though, so I'm gonna call it a win. Thanks for sticking around and watching this video. If you would like to subscribe, I'm not gonna stop you. I would appreciate that. Again, just a thumb. Either way, I'll take it. I'm gonna try to post once a week. Toodles.